Hey, how's everybody doing? This is the Sports Counterpoints Podcast. Today is November the 26th, 2025. Happy Thanksgiving to all who celebrate. Thankful for you all. And if you don't celebrate, fully understand. Enjoy the time with your fam. GB, Coop, and Brian with me. I'm on location at Brian's. What's going on, Coop?
Man, everything's good. How y'all doing?
Good, doing well.
Good, man. Blessings to you and the fam, too, bro. I won't get to see all y'all this week, but soon for sure. So, man, let's get to it. I mean, we pretty much talking NFL. NBA's in full swing. We were watching some of the NBA Cup games today, which actually were really good. So we'll talk about that as we get a little closer towards All-Star break, as we usually do. NHL's in full swing. There's a bunch of stuff. So we know what's going on. We're just keeping it football, keeping it short, keeping it light. So let's do it, man. Starting out, we like to ask these, just a random question sometimes, something else. In honor of the holiday, let me ask y'all, what's y'all most underrated holiday food?
Go ahead,
I can start. I'll go quick. I don't even know if it's a holiday food. I got two of them. It's my mama's lemon meringue pie and sweet potato pie.
Sounds fire. Yeah, that sounds
I
fire.
I just think pies are underrated during Thanksgiving. Everybody talks about everything else, which is cool. I personally like pie, and sweet potato pie and lemon meringue pie are the best pies, just in my opinion. Maybe lemon cream pie from Nations, but other than that, I think that's underrated pie.
It's not a bad choice.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to be the same exact theme, except for me, it's pecan and sweet potato. My mom makes an incredible pecan pie. That was her mom's recipe. It's outstanding. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's like Grammy. I might be different with this one, man. I kind of like them green bean casseroles. I can't even lie. I like the little crunch of the French onion, the little creaminess. Put that with a little ham or a little turkey on the side, a little gravy. I don't know. It goes kind of up to me. So looking forward to it, man. Here with the family. I'm excited about the holiday for sure. So cool, man. Let's get to it. We'll talk about NFL last week. We'll get to this week, and we'll get up out of here. So starting with last Thursday's game, Bills versus Texans. Bills get beat again by a team you didn't necessarily expect them to lose to. What do you guys think about that game?
You go ahead, babe.
Oh, so I didn't get to watch as much of this game as I wanted to, but the one thing that I did get to notice was just Josh Allen looking like the Josh Allen he looked like as a rookie. I mean, he was a little bit all over the place with his throws, ended up with 2 picks and no touchdowns. There's something wrong with this team, and I'm not exactly sure, what it is. We used to always say it was that they didn't have a running game, but they can't say that this season because James Cook has been cooking. So I think the real problem is just that they don't have a wide receiver that they can really count on. What's his name? The guy that everyone likes couldn't play because of disciplinary reason. It was
Keon.
Keon Coleman. Yeah. That's the 3rd time this season where he's had some disciplinary action, either being not being allowed to start, missing a quarter, or in this case, missing a game. It's a little disappointing, but even if he were in the game, he's not a game changer at wide receiver. So I think they need to figure out something they're going to do next season, because it's not going to be this season where they're going to go get a game changer at wide receiver.
Cool.
Yeah, Houston was all over. They were all over Josh Allen. I mean, he looked jittery, didn't look right. I said a couple weeks ago, Buffalo's kind of out in my little Super Bowl bubble. I just don't think they have a roster to compete, and they're 1-4 unless Josh Allen has 3 total touchdowns in the game. So they're still Josh Allen dependent. But other than that, I mean, the loss to me is not expected.
Man, 2 picks for Allen and two D's for Mills.
Not unexpected. I'm sorry, not unexpected. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they haven't played the best against teams you think they would normally be. Up next, they had the Colts and Chiefs is what I show here. That was Sunday. The Colts lose to the Chiefs 20-23. Pretty good game. What you think about that one, Coop?
Well, Daniel Jones definitely has come back to earth the last 3 weeks, especially in the second half of this game against the Chiefs. He had a meltdown against Pittsburgh, and KC pretty much just forced him to beat them by throwing, because they kind of sold out on defense to stop Jonathan Taylor. He only had 16 carries for 58 yards. The Colts in the fourth quarter and overtime, they only had 18 yards of offense. 18, that's it, while the Chiefs had 236. So you can see why KC kind of came back and won the game after being down 20-9. He just said, look, Daniel Jones beats us, he beats us, and he didn't. And KC ended up pulling the game out and winning.
Yeah, it was a good game plan, but I don't think anyone should walk away from this thinking that Kansas City looks like a good team right now. They don't. They look like a 6-5 team all through and through. You know, the game plan in the second half worked. They were able to, especially the fourth quarter, they were able to shut them down. Mahomes did some Mahomes type stuff every once in a while. He threw for a lot of yards, no touchdowns. But you know, I said this last year. I like Kareem Hunt as their running back. I think he is a better option when they're going to have Pacheco back this week. Pacheco's likely going to start. When he starts, the offense gets a little stagnated on run because everything's a pass option. They don't run him up through the middle. They stop running Hunt, and I think that's going to be a problem for them going forward. But anyways, congratulations to them and beating what I think is a pretty good Indianapolis Colts team.
Definitely.
But I do not think that the Chiefs have turned the corner and become the Chiefs that we knew last year or before.
Well,
Yeah,
Jonathan
I agree.
Taylor to 58 yards is a big deal.
For sure.
That's probably the change in your game right there. Seahawks and Titans, man. Seahawks win 30-24. Shout out to the Titans for getting 24. Did you guys get to see that game?
Yes, I paid a lot of attention to this game. Mainly, I wanted to see if Darnold was regressing. He's not. You know, he had a bad week before, but he came back and played strong here. You know, they've it's very interesting what they're doing at the running back position because the identity of that team has always been run and defense, but the identity of this team is Darnold and defense. They didn't play much defense in this game, and Darnold was kind of carrying them. I just don't know what they're going to do with Walker and Charbonnet. Every time I watch them, it's 6 one way, half dozen the other. 6, you know, they go back and forth, and nobody establishes a rhythm. They had both of them were running for 6 yards a carry, 6.5 for one, 5.8 for the other, and they stopped. They basically didn't run the ball. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's going to get towards the end of the season where they're going to need a running game, and they haven't established it yet. That's my worry.
Seattle didn't cover the spread. That was my worry. They gave up a touchdown with I think 20 seconds left in the game to Tennessee. They were down 13. The spread was 12.5. That's the only thing I got to say about this game. That was it.
Yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba, man.
Yeah, JSN is incredible. I mean, he caught.
Killing it.
Well, Darnold throws a really great long ball, and in this game, he did that about 3 or 4 different times. All the JSN in stride, and JSN knows what to do with it. But again, it was very pass heavy.
Definitely. Next game, man. It's yours. Vikings and Packers. Vikings lose 6-23. B, what happened there?
The Vikings suck. So look. First, let's talk about the game. Green Bay is a better team. Green Bay had a better strategy, a better plan, and executed better. You know, early on in this game, I thought Minnesota could actually have won the game. But the minute halftime got there, they went into the locker room and didn't come back out. But here's my conspiracy. McCarthy mysteriously started showing concussion symptoms on the plane ride home. He didn't take any serious hits. All of a sudden, Max Brosner is going in here. I personally think this was them saying, we need to do something different. I've gotten ugly watching you. So we're going to pull you out. But we don't want people to think that we're benching him. And so they gave him this phony concussion. Because Max Brosner, who played really well in the preseason, is going to start. I think they wanted to see what they've got with Max. I think they know that JJ is probably still on this team next year, and probably with some competition. So they didn't want to embarrass him or make him feel foolish by pulling him out. But it was time for him to take a break. So that's my conspiracy. He's not really hurt. He's going to have 2 weeks of concussions, and we're going to see what Max Brosner's got.
Yeah, personally, I hate seeing a good roster go to waste. I saw it with Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis. I've seen it for years. Andy Dalton, Cincinnati. Saw it with Trey Lance in San Francisco, and now I'm seeing it with J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota. I personally believe a decision was made on J.J. McCarthy's future with the Vikings. I think that was finalized last week against Chicago and then validated in this game against Green Bay. JJ had 3 turnovers and 4 yards of offense in the second half. Green Bay, the way they were playing, they were not scared of JJ. They knew JJ couldn't beat them. They ran the ball 42 times this game and only called 21 pass plays for Jordan Love. They only got 139 yards. And what further makes me believe I don't think that JJ is going to be on this roster next year. I mean, I could be wrong, but after seeing this stat, he ranks number 851 out of 852 quarterbacks with at least 100 attempts since the year 2000 in EPA per dropback. The only person worse than him is Jamarcus Russell. That's not good company. And then if you eliminate dropbacks with quick pressures under 2.5 seconds, his Packers performance ranks 344 out of 349 this season in EPA per dropback, which is basically saying whenever he drops back to pass, don't expect good things to happen consistently. And I don't think you can play like that for Kevin McConnell. So I'll be shocked if he's actually on the roster. Minnesota, not all hope is lost probably for this season, but next year, if all those same guys are back, all they need is just a quarterback to function in an offense, and they'll be back at it. I mean, I told a Vikings fan who I was watching the game with last week, I said, if they had Josh Allen, we'll be talking about if this team is going 17-0. That's how good Minnesota's roster is. It's just
I agree with you. The crazy stat that I was looking at was Justin Jefferson, who has been great. Didn't matter how bad the quarterback was. Everybody they put in that lineup, whether they were playing well or not playing well, Justin Jefferson was playing well. If you make Justin Jefferson look like he doesn't know how to play football, which has happened a lot this season, and you get him to the point where he's frustrated like he is, that's something to say about you. I do think JJ's on the team next year, just because I think KOC still thinks he can make something out of him. But I think they're going to bring in somebody to give him some competition, hopefully start.
Yeah, fair enough. Next game, real exciting one. Jets versus Ravens. Ravens win 23-10. Any thoughts on this one?
Jets covered the spread. That's all I cared about. Nothing else. Brian?
Yeah, this was a boring game. This is like I had it on, but I really wasn't paying attention. The only thing that I will say is we got to get Lamar Jackson back playing like Lamar Jackson, because it is not looking good. There were the announcers were talking about this. Since the second game of the season, he hasn't been running, and he is a dual threat quarterback. When you take half of that away, it makes it a lot harder or a lot easier for teams to play defense on him, and a lot harder for them to score. They figured it out this time, but there's a problem there. I don't think Lamar Jackson's healthy right now.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not healthy. He had a hamstring, then a knee, then an ankle, then a toe injury. He won't say it, but he's not hurt. He's playing hurt. And they look like a one and done playoff team. I mean, Lamar is definitely not himself. I've been watching his games. I mean, you've been watching his games. We all been watching his game for years. He's definitely not right.
Next game, man. Giants-Lions. That was actually kind of a fun one to watch, man. Went to OT.
Yeah.
Famous Jameis throwing it around. 27-34 Lions win. What do you guys think about this one?
Giants should have actually won this game. Detroit's defense can't stop anybody. The Giants blew another double-digit lead in this game. I think the 5th one this season, and they fired their defense coordinator after the game. Watching Jameis Winston play, he should have been started from the beginning. He's definitely better than Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart. He's making things happen with no quote-unquote weapons. There's no Malik Neighbors out there. He's throwing the guy's name. I had to look him up. Theo Johnson and Wandale Robinson. And he's handing off to somebody named Tyrone Tracy. I saw trick plays from the Giants, and of course, Jameis Winston. He's chucking the ball downfield. They're just fun to watch when he's playing quarterback. And then on the Lions, despite all their hype, they didn't win a playoff game last season. I don't think they're going to win one this season. I think they're going to be one and done as well. They gave up 10 catches in this game for over 20 yards, 10 different catches for over 20 yards to the Giants. But Jahmyr Gibbs, he's a baller. He ran for 219 yards. So that dude's good. He's good, really good. But that's
he might be the scariest running back with the ball right now. What Jonathan Taylor's going to do? He's going to run you over. You know what a lot of these, they're going to run you over. Derrick Henry's going to do, run you over. Jahmyr Gibbs, and he is shifty. So what I will say about the Giants is no one's ever going to mistake Jameis Winston as one of the best quarterbacks ever, or even at any point in time, but he's always been fun to watch. I mean, every single time he comes in, you're going to see 2-3 touchdowns and 300+ yards, and he's throwing the ball every single time deep. And you also know he's going to get 1 or 2 interceptions. But that's fine because he gives teams a chance. Again, they lost this game. That's not a surprise. But at the same time, they were competitive with one of the better teams in the league. And they were a hell of a lot more fun to watch than they had been while they were trying to work on a real winning team. So anyways, I'm hopeful that we'll see more of that because at least makes the games interesting.
Right.
Yo and Wandale sound like Cosby Show characters.
Right. I mean, if you're going to be bad, at least be interesting. That's what I've always said. And they're interested.
Yeah. That's my golf motto. Steelers and Bears. Bears win 31-28. Caleb threw 3 touchdowns on them. What y'all think about that one?
This one I watched a lot.
This.
Yeah, this one I watched a lot. I want to try and believe in Caleb Williams because obviously I liked him in college, but I just don't like him.
Right here.
Yeah, that's right. I got a bobblehead right there. I want to like him. I want to, and he played very well in this game. But there's just something about his game that feels still incomplete. I don't think they're going to be able to do much in the playoffs. But look at the stats: 3 touchdowns, 200 and some odd yards. That's pretty impressive. But there's something missing. He's very good scripted. He falls off after the script is done, and there's an incompleteness to his game. I don't know if he can fill that in, but I know that it's enough to make sure that they'll have a decent record and probably be a first round out.
Yes, for Chicago, I'll start with Chicago. This is a different Chicago team this season. They're winning games this year that they would have lost last year. Though I picked the Bears to win, I thought when the Steelers went up 14-7 after Caleb took that terrible sack in the end zone and got sacked by TJ Watt. Pittsburgh got a touchdown off of that. I thought the Bears were going to implode because that's what they've always done. But Caleb played the best second half of the season. He got rid of the ball quick, showed some mental toughness, and pretty much the Bears came in the game ranked number 2 in rushing, and they couldn't run the ball. So it was all on Caleb to make things happen. They ended up pulling out the game. On the flip side, Pittsburgh, I'm actually enjoying watching them implode. Their 28th ranked defense is expensive and is on pace to be the worst in Pittsburgh Steelers history, which is actually saying something. They're no longer in first place. They were 4-1. They were in first place 4-1 when Baltimore was 1-5. Now Baltimore is in first place. And you just look at the Steelers. They got a 41-year-old quarterback with a broken bone in his wrist. They got an overpaid defense that's not good. They got a washed-up Jalen Ramsey, no running game, an overpaid wide receiver who only runs deep routes, 5 tight ends, and they can't beat good teams. I mean, this run, I keep saying for Tomlin, it's over, and nobody wants to believe me. They played the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens in wild card games, lost all 3 by at least 2 touchdowns. They're not even close to competing, and there's no standard to win. I'm not saying everything is Tomlin's fault, but every coach has a shelf life. And lastly, Mike Tomlin just broke the NFL record for coaching 61 straight games without scoring more than 7 points in the first quarter. I didn't even know that was possible. I'm rooting for Mike Tomlin to get out of there. And, I'm rooting for Mike Tomlin to
go to the Jets
and go Giants. I want him going to the Giants. That's where I want him to go, to the Giants. Yeah, I think he'll be a great fit there. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm just enjoying watching Pittsburgh implode.
Fair enough, man. Implosion speak. Browns Raiders. Browns win 24-10. Chip Kelly's fired. They fired the head consulting coach or whatever you want to say. The second guy there. Geno Smith leaves the field, flipping off Raider fans who are booing. I think we were watching this, and I want to say I was with mom and auntie and sis out there in SAC, and these fools were booing. Oh, shout out to Jelani too. These fools were booing like first quarter, like halfway early, booing the Raiders, which they deserved. It's ugly, man. I mean, I think there's enough blame to go around everywhere. We hope they could figure it out one day. It's hard to watch, man, and be a fan of. Coop, I know what you were saying last week. It's hard to watch bad football. You don't watch it. Like, man, I only get so many times to see, silver and black. So I try and watch them all. And then one day when they're good, I'm going to be able to say, when all of this is great, say, man, I remember. It was just, and it was this guy. But, yeah, they got to figure it out. We'll see what happens. Greg Olson takes over, I think, for the 3rd time as offensive coordinator for the Raiders. We'll see what happens. Our schedule's treacherous the rest of the way. We got the Chargers and the Broncos, then the Eagles. It's ugly. So I think Brian was saying this earlier. Right now, you're just seeing what players you got and what the offense could look like next year. Brown side, they win the game. Shadeur gets his first start. Had that one long pass was cool. That was dope to see.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, it was a good pass. I'm not gonna.
It was 3 yards.
No, he had a deep pass in the beginning of the one to get
He
it
did
there.
have one. He did have
However
one
y'all
deep
feel
blast,
about
yeah.
Shadeur is fine. I'm just saying, like the pass was good. They won the game. The defense played very well. They had 10 sacks on Geno.
Man,
Browns win, and then Coop gets them next week. So
Yeah,
it was a big up.
So when I got a text from Glenn saying he's hitting the road and it was still 5 minutes left of the game, I was like, oh, okay. I know how you feel.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I wasn't going to wait.
Yeah. But look, they need to get rid of Young Carroll. I mean, yeah, because Young Carroll is actually the bigger part of the problem here. Chip Kelly's awful, but Young Carroll has one of the worst offensive lines that I have ever seen. 10 sacks for 77 yards. You can't win when you throw for 285 yards, damn near 300 yards, and you only get 205 yards of actual offense out of it for 10 sacks, 77 yards. You can't do anything with it. On the Shadeur Sanders things, I think the stats are obviously inflated. Yeah, he had the one nice pass, but he also had a 3-yard dump off that went for 70 yards and a touchdown that makes his numbers look palatable. His QBR in this game was 8.7, which is better than the 2.4, but it's still ridiculously horrible. This guy is not any good, and there's nothing that suggests that he is. Go ahead, Jason.
Well, since Brian brought the QBR stat, I don't have to say it now. But every Raider fan that didn't have I talked to so many Raider fans for this game, and none of them had the same confidence I did that they would beat the Cleveland Browns. And I talked to a lot of you. My apologies. I get it now. I understand. Okay.
Browns defense ain't no joke too. Y'all get to see him this week.
That's true.
Yeah, right. I know about it already. But we lost them already last year, like before. But by no means was Shadeur good. He was 11 for 20. Like Brian said, he had a touchdown off a screen pass and had an interception, so he wasn't good. Cleveland's 10 sacks played a bigger role in this game than Shadeur, because to me the only reason to watch Cleveland is to see if Myles Garrett can break the sack record. But I found it interesting that the Browns brought back Deshaun Watson to mentor Shadeur. I didn't know that. On the flip side, the Raiders pretty much fired.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, the Raiders fired Chip Kelly, who got $18 million for 11 games. Y'all know me on day one. I said I never understood the hire, but in this little interview, he said basically that Tom Brady is the one who convinced him to come to the Raiders, so we could put some blame on him. But Tom Brady looks like he's known as the guy to want Geno Smith over Sam Darnold. So it looks like he's 0 for 2 on a couple of important positions. But as far as Chip Kelly, you never saw any innovation on offense. And it just seems like to me he's just a mercenary for money at this point in the career. And at this point in his career, and if I had to bet money right now, because Pete Carroll has 2 sons on the staff. If he doesn't fire at least the offensive line coach, which is his son Brendan, I think that he will be the next person fired. I honestly believe that. I don't think he can come back with his sons still on the staff. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you on young Carroll.
All right, so you got that game.
Carroll.
Next game, in overtime, the Jaguars beat the Cardinals 27-24.
I paid no attention to this game, so.
Didn't either. They didn't make the roster.
I say Trevor Lawrence threw 3 TDs. Jags win. We can keep them moving then.
Yeah.
Eagles Cowboys. I know y'all saw that.
We could definitely talk about this one.
Yeah, Eagles go up 21-zip. Wait, 21? Was it 21-zip?
Well, yeah, it was 21.
And then lose 21-24 to the Cowboys. Man, what y'all think about this one?
Yeah.
I don't ever like rooting for Dallas, but I loved watching this. I've never been a fan of Philly fans because they get a little obnoxious. And so this will definitely keep them quiet for a little while because it was a big game, big rivalry. And Dallas looked legitimately good once they started that comeback. They looked awful at the beginning, and then they came back strong. They played solid football all the way through towards the end of the game. They're going to be a good team who could throw haymakers at other good teams and get wins that they probably shouldn't otherwise get. But no one's afraid of them. No one's thinking that Dallas is a contender. But they are interesting, and they do have enough skill at the right places with CD and Pickens to be able to throw haymakers at teams and win.
Pickens gonna play like this. They tough.
Yes,
that guy's crazy.
He's been
Seattle missed.
So one thing I will say about Pickens real quick. Sorry. He got kicked off the Pittsburgh Steelers because he wasn't, trying and had a bad attitude. it's clear that he did have all of those problems because he does it now, and the guy is completely different. He was a solid player for Pittsburgh when motivated. He is a star when he's the way he's playing right now for Dallas. So, it looks like he's got his head on straight.
Except in Vegas. Cool.
Well, you can definitely talk about that. Jalen Hurts threw 39 times. I don't think that's something any Philly fan should want. But people say, look at his stats. See how he plays. I see how he plays. If a team plays zone, he never throws the ball
Saquon had the
downfield.
ball. He had 18 carries total. That's tough.
Yeah.
For running game.
When you play Jalen Hurts, he plays zone. He just dinks and dunks. He does not throw the ball downfield. He won't. So of course he doesn't throw interceptions. But I said at the beginning of the season, Saquon will not rush for more than 1,300 or 1,400 yards this year. You can't rely on for 2 straight seasons. You never could. And since Philly can't run the ball, the passing offense is suffering. Saquon had 450 touches last season, and this season he has absolutely no explosiveness. He's averaging 3.7 yards a carry. So Hurts and the offense coordinator aren't the only people to blame for Philly's offensive struggles. I just knew at this point in the season that the Cowboys were the better team, which is why my money was on that they tried to mess up, but they didn't play like in the beginning, like Brian said. But I personally think the 1-2 punch of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens is the second best behind Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. And then for the Eagles, I mean, in the second half, not only did they not score, they didn't get past the 38-yard line. I mean, that's just not good. They got some things to figure out. Seriously.
Definitely. Falcon Saints. Falcons win 24-10. Kirk Cousins gets the start right. Falcons get back on the winning side.
This was a very Kirk Cousins type game. 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and does enough to win against a horrible team. And he'll do the exact same thing against a good team and get smoked. This is the Kirk Cousins that we got in Minnesota, which is frustrating because it'll be like, the offense looked pretty good under Kirk, and that's because they're playing a garbage team and it's the Saints. But anyways, not much else to say about this game. I was just kind of paying attention. I want to see if Bijan's getting right because there's a period of time there where he didn't look like himself towards the middle of the season. Hopefully he's getting it back in gear. Jace, what are your thoughts?
I said earlier that Chip Kelly is a mercenary for cash. He's actually just running a scam, making people think he can coach. Brother, the defense coordinator for the New Orleans Saints, Brandon Staley, he's doing the same thing. He's running a scam and making people think he can coach too. We all know Kirk Cousins is not good, but he put up 24 against his defense. And so if he doesn't get fired this season, I just don't know. But that's all I got to say about this game. He's just running a scam.
Buccaneers, Rams. Rams beat up on him, man. 34-7. What did y'all see on that one?
I did not think this game was going to go ahead.
No, I'll be quick. I was on the Rams here, not only because Baker Mayfield and Todd Bowles' primetime night record is 2-9 now. Baker's is 2-12 for his career. But I just think the whole momentum of Tampa Bay in these close games, I think early in the season, I just think it ran out. And Tampa Bay is kind of probably going back to what I thought they probably would be for this year anyway. But as far as the game, Brian, I'm gonna let you take care of that.
So yeah, I mean, look, I think the Rams are the best team in the NFL right now. I think we talked about that a little bit last week. And so they played the game that I expected. The minute Baker Mayfield started hobbling, I knew that they had no chance because the only reason why Tampa Bay plays as well as it plays when it plays well is because of Baker Mayfield. I mean, he just makes things happen. This is not a knock on Teddy. There's nothing that he can do. He's just not. He's not a Baker Mayfield, one of those types of players who can do crazy things and make weird things happen. The Buccaneers are much worse than their record. The reason their record is inflated as it is because of Baker Mayfield. So there was no question whether or not the Rams are going to win this game. I was surprised by the amount, but I take that because Baker went down.
Definitely. Last game of the week, Monday night, Panthers at 49ers, which we watched while having some bomb Italian food. Man, that was super good. Sorry, quick flashback. Niners win 20-9 in spite of the offense. Cool. What you got, man?
Look, I like going on YouTube and watching the 10 to 15-minute highlights of every NFL game that happened on Sunday. I've been doing it for years. I did it for this game as well, even though I watched it live. I went to watch it specifically to see Brock Purdy's 3 interceptions because some interceptions are on the quarterback making a bad read or a good read with bad ball placement. And some are on the receiver. And what I noticed about Brock's 3 interceptions that they hung in the air with no velocity. If you look at Brock's deep throws, his first 2 seasons, they have velocity, which means he's not fully healthy. He can't drive the ball on deep throws. I understand he wants to play. I get it. Kyle wants him to play so he can expand the playbook, but Brock is not healthy. He's not saying it, just like Lamar Jackson is not healthy, and he's not saying anything either. Carolina should have won this game or at least covered the 7 point spread. They got 3 turnovers, and they're playing
Got
against a
good ones
bunch of
too.
practice. Yeah, they're playing against a bunch of practice squad and XFL players on the 49ers defense. These guys are not starters in the NFL except one guy, Diamador Lenore. And Bryce Young, I told you I was pretty officially out on him. He was just as bad as Brock Purdy in this game. But the 49ers kind of adjusted in the second half the way Purdy should play. And then Carolina's head coach, I don't know what he was doing. Rico Dowdle was averaging 6 yards a carry, but he only gave him 6 carries, which really doesn't make any sense. But then I thought about it. Carolina kind of seemed overwhelmed in this game, and that's because they're used to playing those Sunday 10 a.m. games. They're not used to the bright lights and Monday nights or standalone games, and so they kind of felt overwhelmed. Before I let you go, B, I just want to take a quick note about this whole Brandon Ayuk situation because it's kind of bizarre.
Oh yeah.
Wide receiver Brandon Ayuk, he signed a $120 million contract. $76 million of it was guaranteed. The 49ers have confirmed that they were able to void $26 million that would have been owed to him this upcoming season. And the NFL Players Union is not fighting it. I don't have a definite opinion on this because obviously something happened and both sides aren't saying what it is. There's only speculation right now. But here's what's not speculation. Brandon Ayuk and John Lynch, GM John Lynch, they both have the same agent. Kyle Shanahan said the reason the guarantee was voided is because of an incident that happened in July, but didn't specify what that incident was. It happened during training camp. You only have 50 days to contest a voided contract. And since it happened in July, the time has passed, so it can't be contested. It had to be more than just some missed meetings and some practices because Ayuk's contract has the exact same language as Brock Purdy's and Nick Bosa. And there are a list of things in there that can make a contract voidable. So he did something in there, but it's just not clear exactly what that reason is. But as a 49er fan, I know the 49ers, they regretted this contract as soon as the ink dried, and we're looking for a way to get out of it. And now they got out. So now the 49ers get some cap space with a very minimal dead cap hit in 2026 and 2027. So I'm actually happy we can actually get have the chance to get a productive player. But the whole situation is just weird, and I think like many people, want to find out what exactly made the contract voidable.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. The only thing I'll say about this game is I don't know how to say this or explain it, but the San Francisco 49ers are fool's gold. The reason for that, their defense is great, but they keep on winning games that they don't have any business winning. And that record is, if you looked at their record, you would think that they're a top team. I don't think they are. But at the same time, they keep going out there and finding ways to win, whether it's Mac Jones or Brock Purdy or whoever. They're finding ways to win. It's impressive, but it's also another one of those teams that I don't think anyone wants to put any money on them going deep into the playoffs. But for right now, it's probably not that bad to be a 49er fan, given the fact that they keep on pulling off these wins.
Yeah, I mean, just going to the playoffs and playing one playoff game is considered a win. I mean, this is not a contender at all. Not at all.
Definitely. All right. So we're looking at next week going forward, guys. So starting tomorrow with Turkey Day games, you got the Green Bay Packers playing the Detroit Lions in the morning. The Lions -3.
Yeah. Oh, I think the Lions are going to win this game. I think they're a better team than the Packers, and I think they're going to expose Jordan Love.
Wow. For those of you who gamble, the Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys have not covered the spread together on Thanksgiving since 2001. And they haven't won a game straight up and covered the spread, both of them, since 1994. Translation, if Detroit covers the spread, go against the Cowboys in the next game. So I'm taking Detroit because I'm taking KC the next game.
Fair enough. Speaking of the next game, Kansas City versus the Dallas Cowboys at 1:30 PST. That is spread Chiefs -3.5 in Dallas.
Well, you already gave away yours.
Yep.
Well, okay. I'm gonna say history gets broken because I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I just don't believe in the Chiefs.
Yeah, Cowboys at home. It's tough. Cincinnati Bengals at Baltimore Ravens, 5:20 PST. The Ravens are -7.
So I think the Ravens are going to win this game, and I think Baltimore is going to not cover the spread. So Bengals on the spread, Ravens to win the game.
Yeah, same here. I got Bengals on the spread as well. This
I
going
think Joe
to
Burrow's supposed to come back.
Burrow might come back,
Yeah.
but he should be rusty. Against
He
Baltimore.
got officially activated today. He's playing.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, but against Baltimore, I'm with you. Cincinnati on spread, Baltimore wins.
All right. On African American Friday at noon, you got Chicago Bears at the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles -7.
I don't understand this spread. I'll take the Bears on the spread. I don't know who's going to win the game, but the Bears are good enough against a team that just lost against the Cowboys to not lose by 7 or more.
And Brian, you said exactly what I was thinking when I first saw it. I didn't understand the spread, but I also know Jalen Hurts is 30-4 straight up at home his last 34 games. I think this will be too much. I think Chicago loses this by double digits, so I got Philly to win and cover the spread.
Okay. Sunday, 10 a.m. PST games. San Francisco 49ers at Cleveland Browns. Niners are -4.5.
Well, this is going to be a bad weather game, so I expect another interception or so by Purdy because he has trouble in these type of weather games. Also expect Myles Garrett to get a couple sacks and the defensive line to be better than the 49ers offensive line. But the only reason I'm picking the 49ers to win is because if Joe Flacco was the quarterback, Cleveland, I would pick Cleveland. But Shadeur Sanders is the quarterback. I just think he's going to make some mistakes and enough mistakes for the 49ers to win. So I'm going to take Cleveland on the spread. 49ers
That's
to
how
win.
they survived.
Yeah, I think the 49ers defense feasts on Shadeur Sanders. They're a much better defense than the Raiders, obviously. And I think San Francisco wins by more than 4.5.
Jacksonville Jaguars at Tennessee Titans. Jags are -6.5.
This is Jacksonville. Easy.
I
The
mean,
Titans are horrible.
I'm never taking Tennessee in any game, so it's going to be Jacksonville.
You'll only be wrong once all season. They haven't done any wrong.
Yeah. Houston Texans at Indianapolis Colts. Colts are -4.5.
Give me the
Taylor
Colts.
Indoors. Yes.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor
At
indoors.
home.
This is more of a fade against CJ Stroud. He's supposed to be coming back this game. He won't be 100%. I got the Colts bouncing back.
New Orleans Saints at Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are -6.
The other team that I won't be picking very much of is the Saints, so Dolphins.
Yeah, I got to take the Dolphins here. I can't roll with the Saints. Brandon Staley's the defense coordinator.
Yeah, hilarious. Atlanta Falcons at New York Jets. The Falcons are -2.5.
Oh, B?
I'm going to take the Jets.
Yeah, me too. I can't take the Falcons on the road as a favorite. I got the Jets as well. The Jets have been covering. They've been covering like 3 of the last 4 games and 4 of the last 5. They've been covering.
They're showing fight.
I got them.
Yeah, They have one all season. Los Angeles Rams at Carolina Panthers. The Rams are -10.5.
Yeah, that's about enough. I mean, I'm taking the Rams either way. I think they can win by more than 2 touchdowns.
10 a.m. game. I think the spread's a little bit too high. I think Carolina covers, but Rams win by 6.
Fair enough. You got the Arizona Cardinals at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucks are -2.5. This
is Mayfield playing.
I don't know that. I know right now.
Anyways, because this spread doesn't suggest that he is. I'm going to guess that he's not. But anyways, I'll still take the Buccaneers. The Cardinals just seem rudderless. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't think they do. And I think Teddy Bridgewater could game manage a win over the Cardinals.
Baker did not practice today.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater used to be called Teddy Covers, but that was a while ago. No matter who starts, I think Tampa Bay is too banged up. I got Arizona.
Afternoon games, 1:05 p.m. PST. Minnesota Vikings at Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are -11.5.
Yeah, that's about right. I'll take the Seahawks.
Yeah, I got to see. I'm going to take Minnesota to cover, but I'm going to take Seahawks to win.
Don't do it. We are not good.
Speaking of not good, 1:25 p.m. Las Vegas Raiders at Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are -8.5 after bye.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers here.
Yeah, me too. They need the win. Yeah, against the
Yeah,
Pistons
they're
when
fresh. They
in
should.
Kansas City.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens on the offense because Chip Kelly's offense was abysmal, but that offensive line is still not great.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. Buffalo Bills at Pittsburgh Steelers. The Bills are -3.5.
Jason,
Pittsburgh could win this game.
I know.
Um,
I feel
they
that way
really
too.
could win. Uh, the way Buffalo is playing, I'm sorry, they're just too Josh out. But the thing is, Pittsburgh's defense is not good. I think that's going to be their Achilles heel in this game. They're going to make somebody from Buffalo's offense look better than they are. I'm sorry. So I'm going to take Buffalo. I just think the implosion continues for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't know if losing this game is an implosion, but I do think the Bills will find a way to win in what I think will be a closer game. So 3.5 or it's probably about right. So Bills.
Sunday night, 5:20 p.m. Denver Broncos at Washington Commanders. The Broncos are -6.
Broncos.
I don't even know why this game was not flexed out. Broncos.
Fair
Washington's not
enough.
worth watching.
Monday night, December 1st. It's already December. That's crazy. 5:15 p.m. PST. New York Giants at New England Patriots. The Patriots are -7.5.
All right. Here's the thing. I think Jameis Winston can go in there and throw a ball around and do a whole bunch of really interesting things and lose by less than 7. So I'm taking Giants in the spread. The Patriots are going to win this game. I don't think there's anything there, but the Patriots are not a team that blows up and has wins by 21 points and all this other stuff. Anyways, Giants on the spread, Patriots doing the game.
Yeah, I think New England's being overvalued in this game. They were overvalued against Cincinnati as well. They didn't cover the spread that game. So I'm taking the Giants here, and New England will probably win by 3 or 4.
Fair enough. That's our rundown for NFL for this week. Let's run down the last few segments, starting with what is hogwash. Let's start there this week. Brian, one week said something was a bunch of hogwash. We've been doing it since. What do you got this week?
So I have watched a grand total of maybe 10 basketball games this year, and the officiating has been horrible in all of them. I watched college basketball yesterday for the first time, and the officiating was horrible in all of them. I don't know what is going on, but they need to be looking into this because they do video reviews and still get very obvious calls wrong. And it just seems to be happening at a higher clip lately. And I have a relatively small sampling. I haven't really been watching as much, but I have watched a lot this weekend, and it's almost been painful to see how some of these games are being officiated, especially down the stretch in close games. We were watching the NBA Cup games today, and the games themselves were really good.
Right.
But the fact that they came down and were close towards the end, and almost every single one of them was the game was decided based off of a call, whether it was right or wrong, was based off of officiating and not the players on the court. That's a bunch of hogwash.
Cool.
Yeah, my hogwash goes out to everybody that keeps saying it wouldn't be fair to JJ McCarthy to not let him start next year for the Vikings. This isn't high school football. This is the NFL, a production-based business where this ain't 1997 where you give guy 5 years. Only take a couple years maximum to find out what you have at quarterback, and a lot of times you can figure out in the first season. When you're not productive and you stay hurt. I mean, things like this happen. I mean, he was a raw project quarterback, and nobody really knew what was going to happen. It was more of a boom or bust type of thing, just like with Trey Lance or Anthony Richardson. And it just doesn't look like it's working out. I've seen teams pivot real quickly, including mine off a quarterback, and I think the Vikings would do the same thing. But also, none of these guys actually earned the starting job. Trey Lance was actually handed the job. So was JJ McCarthy, and so was Anthony Richardson. It was handed to them. They didn't actually earn it. And sometimes stuff like this happens. So I just think it's hogwash that people think that you just see somebody play bad and automatically just have to keep wasting other players' times by keep playing them. You have to see something to actually keep them playing. But that's just my hogwash.
Enough. I don't got one. Game ball. Coop, this was your segment. You're giving a game ball for people that are performing well in their field. Who you got?
Ben Johnson, the head coach of the Chicago Bears. They're in first place right now. maybe I was a year late. I had them coming in first place the previous year. Looks like they're in first place this year. But I mean, the way he has that team playing and believing in themselves, the hardest thing to change for a team is a culture. When you have a culture of losing, that's the hardest thing to change. And it looks like he has those players believing in themselves. They're winning games that they normally would not win. I know they don't have the toughest schedule in the world, but when you've been losing games, any win is a good win. So he gets my game ball.
Jahmyr Gibbs for me.
Oh man,
I mean, he's just electric, and that 219 yards, he made it look easy. That's a lot of yards.
Yeah, that's a good one. He went crazy. I got a win off fantasy strictly off of Jahmyr. Nobody cares, but no one else did anything on the team, and he still carried. That was nuts. They got nothing there either. Minute to win it. Everybody, stay safe and enjoy your next few days. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for y'all, everybody who watches. Cool.
Yeah, same thing. Everybody just have a great holiday, and thank you everybody for watching, checking us out every week.
Appreciate your questions, everybody, as well.
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to say is my heart goes out to all of the families that are being ruined and ravaged by ICE right now. Just more and more stories about BS detainments, and at this point in time, I have friends who are close to who are talking about how they have to travel. They travel with their passport in their car, which you're not supposed to do because it could get stolen. But they're traveling because they're afraid of being targeted and detained for no reason. It is so ugly. And a day like tomorrow, where the holiday itself is a little bit sideways. The only thing that kind of takes up for that is the fact that you get to spend it with your family. There's a whole lot of families who can't right now because of this stuff, and my heart goes out to those people.
Definitely. You got the record. That's Sports Counterpoints. Today is November 26, 2025. We'll see y'all next time. Take care.